cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Well, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here. Welcome to live stream number 224. It's January 12th, 2026. It's our second live stream of the new year. And, well, again, I'm really glad you're here. If you're new to this live stream, if you're new to the channel, basically, you know, the channel talks about my compact tractor and attachments and projects around the property here and different things like that. So those are the kind of things we talk about here. And if it is your first time here at a live stream, please say hi in the live chat. I'm streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So you could be watching from Facebook. You could be watching from YouTube. You might be a new subscriber. You might be a new follower. But at any rate, please say hi in the live chat so that we can welcome you. And let me know how you found the channel. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok? Because you can find the channel all those places. And I do this pretty much every Monday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so just 1 hour. And we talk about, you know, things that are going on the property. We talk about things that are going on with you and questions you might have that I could help you with, either about the channel or about projects I'm working on. So if you do have a question tonight, in the live chat, type the word question followed by your question. And then later on, we will do our famous sticker giveaway before the end of the evening. I'm getting ready to lose a little SD card there sliding around my table. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. And if you click that thumbs up too, I appreciate that. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, the thumbs up always helps as well. So let's dive in right now to the comment section to see what we've missed. I did preview some of these just as we were getting started. And first of all, Michael, I'm sorry that you shared, I'm not sorry that you shared it, you shared that you suffered a stroke, and I am so sorry to see that. And thank you for being here tonight, and know that you've got a lot of people here who know you week after week being here in the live stream. We feel like we know you. You've been a sticker winner a few times. Anyway, please take care of yourself. Know that there'll be people here thinking of you and praying for you, and I hope that you regain all your mobility and everything there. So I'm sorry to hear that, and it's frightening because these things happen without warning to any of us at any time. So again, I'm just really sorry to hear that, and I hope you're comfortable and that you're being well taken care of, and that you're able to make a full recovery. I know that's very possible. So hang in there, my friend. Hunter, good to see you this evening. I hope that your new year is starting out well. And Brother John, hope you're doing well. And Woodster 300, yes, it's another Monday night. We'll be talking some tractors. Bring up the comments, bring up the questions about tractors or anything you're thinking about, and we'll talk about it. And Chris from the Watershed Overlook, good to see you. Chris, I hope you're doing well with the wood chipper. I've got to get the Woodland Mills TF68 Pro back on the tractor. I did replace the struts that went bad that hold the take-in wheel in place. I had to replace both of those struts. They were either defective or something happened to them. Woodland Mills sent me 2 new struts. They're in place. It feels much better. I got to get it back on the tractor. One of the big tests that I wanted to perform with that wood chipper is in chipping evergreen, green wood. I've got a lot of white pine that went down in one of the recent storms. So we've got green needles on white pine. And the problem I had with the other wood chipper is that the evergreen would get kind of clogged up in the chipper. And the TF68 Pro is the same chipper as the WC68, except the TF has twin flywheel, and that's what the TF stands for. So by having a twin flywheel, it has the primary flywheel, which chips the wood and has fan blades on it, basically, that blow the chips out. But then there's a secondary flywheel, and this one has fan blades. So, and it spins at a faster RPM than the primary flywheel. So you've got a lot more air volume, and that's what we want to test out and see if it really blows those evergreens out of there and not get clogged up like the other chipper did at times. It was not so much of a problem if I not so much of a problem if I let the evergreen dry, but it was when it was green that it was just, and the new chipper may experience the same problem. It just was stringy. The biggest problem, and I don't expect miracles from this, the biggest problem was trying to chip cedar, especially green cedar, because it's very, very stringy. So we'll be testing that out. But anyway, I'm going to get that hooked up soon. The weather is turning frightful in the next week or so. It's like actual winter weather coming, but still not. I guess it's going to be in the 30s, upper 30s. I guess we can deal with that. But if it's sunny and 45 plus, I'm pretty happy with that. But it's winter, and so we have to do that. We got to get that hooked up. Bob Purrs, good to see you this evening. Ross, on the land, hello to you too. Happy? Having a good Monday. Yes, we are having a good Monday. Tap That Sugar Shack, welcome back, Tap That Sugar Shack. And David from RCAF Polar Express. My goodness, these comments all came in before we even started. William, good to see you. David, thanks for being here. Yeah, I got to get caught up then, right? If these all came in beforehand. First question of the evening, and I knew that this was going to come up because I have not given you an update for a while. From David, question, how's the Boland's diesel? I have not gotten to do any more work with it because if you followed on Facebook, I shared on Facebook that I've been doing some bathroom renovation work and been doing some tile work. So my focus is really trying to get this bathroom put back together again. And it's not my primary skill. I can do carpentry, I can do finish work. I don't do rough carpentry. Like I can build walls, but I don't do roofing. I don't build stairs. I'm not a math guy. That's what it comes down to. I'm not good with math. Probably if I had been trained in it, I would get it, but it doesn't click how to do all those kind of things with angles and stuff like that. Just because I've never done it. But anyway, I can do interior work like mad. I can build walls, I can do plumbing, I can do electrical, I can do tile work, I can do pretty much anything that is able to be done that doesn't require specialized tools. If it's just a skill set, I can make it work. I can make it look good. But it's not that I'm not good at it. It's that it takes me longer. I might spend 2 minutes scratching my head for every minute of productive work, but I get it. And in the end, it looks really good. I think it's done right. But man, I don't like, here's what I don't like. I don't like drywall finishing because I don't mind installing drywall. I can install drywall, although it's a pain. I can do that. I can do spackling, taping on the walls, not so bad. Hate doing overhead. Hate doing anything over my head. But even with drywall spackling, it's a little messy. I don't like it. Same with tile work. The process of it, I find it to be a bit messy. And I came to the conclusion of why are these two jobs, they stress me out. And I think the reason is because there's a time factor with that when you're working with drywall spackle material, it's not super quick, but there is a time factor that you have a working time to work with that before it starts to get hard or clumpy. And so there's a time factor. With tile work, you've got the grout, not the grout, the thin set that you apply the tile with. It's basically concrete, cement. You have a time factor in working with that, and I don't like being pressed for time. And I just came to this conclusion like the other day. I realized like, hey, these things are based on time factors, and I don't like that. And I have never liked timed tests, like in school, even now. Like, I mean, I can't remember the last time I took a timed test, but I know I applied for a job, I don't know, 15 years ago, and part of it was a timed test, and it was mathematical, which I'm more of a creative than I am a scientific. So things like, I mean, basic math is okay, but algebra, those kind of things, they don't compute. They just can't get through this big, thick skull. I could probably draw a beautiful algebra equation. I could make it look really nice, but to solve it, there's some kind of mental block. And time tests, if you tell me you've got so many minutes to finish this, I don't like that. It's just who I am. There's probably something that a therapist could bring out and solve that for me, and maybe solve a lot of my problems in life. Maybe that would help me with algebra too. I don't know. So back to the comments. Chris, I'm glad that you're loving the WC68. No issues so far. Have chipped green wood, but not a ton of evergreen yet. Time will tell. Like I said, Chris, you will be fine. Feed it slow. Let it dry if you can, and you'll be really fine. I always pushed it to really stuff whatever I can in there, see what it can do. I also did some evergreen bushes here. What are they called? I don't remember. I can't remember what they are. But I cut them up and I thought, I'll feed these through the chipper, and they were super green, super stringy. It was in one of the videos, but it just probably wasn't appropriate for it. At any rate, you'll be just fine. You'll love it as much as I did. It's still one of my top favorite attachments. I love to run the wood chipper. Ann loves to run the wood chipper. It's just a fun, I don't know why, it's just a fun exercise. What I would really like, I think I would love a big industrial chipper that you could put a good 8-inch limb in. Now these WC68 is made for a 6x8 opening. You're never going to get a 6-inch, I don't think, limb in that thing. It's great for, I think, for up to 4-inch or so, maybe even 5, but 6, 7, 8, no, it's not going. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think a big industrial one, I would like that. So thank you. Great job in the bathroom. I did share a picture of some of the tile work. It's going well. Yeah, it's going well. I did borrow a nice big tile cutter, so that helps. If you have just one of those tile cutters that you have to like scratch it and crack it, that's no good. So this is a big one that has the water reservoir, and you can cut the tile. And I had to cut around the faucet, like it's a 5-inch hole. So luckily it fell between two tiles, so I was able to do 2 half moons. And I just used the tile saw, and I cut slices in and then cut across, because it's all hidden by trim, so it's fine. It's an ugly cut, but it's going to be hidden, so you'll never know when you're there doing it. And then I did have to drill a hole, but I've got a tile hole saw that I bought years ago, and you just put some water on it and put it in your drill, and that's kind of fun too. So it works. Linda thought I canceled. No, I don't think. Hope I didn't cancel tonight. I had canceled previously, but no canceling. I had just said no. You know what I said in the Facebook post? I said no video this week because I was working on the tile work. But that's not to say the live stream. That was just I didn't put any video this week. Put out any video this week. So Wade hates painting. I don't mind painting, Wade. I'll tell you what always gets me with painting, and you're talking about painting walls, I guess, and ceilings, is that it's always more tedious than I expect. every time, and I'm starting to teach myself this, but every time I think I'll just paint this room, I'll paint this wall, it takes so much longer than you expect. No such thing as I'll just do this real quick. The prep work takes a long time, the painting takes a long time, but I don't mind. I actually like it. And I think I'm a slow painter because I think I'm a pretty good painter. Um, but I don't mind that because that also means when I'm painting something, that means I'm done. You know, that's the good thing about that. Like that's the finishing touches. So I don't mind that so much. But I hear you. I hear you. It can be a pain in the neck. Tap That Sugar Shack just started a big kitchen job, sanding and refinishing cabinets, ceilings, and walls. That's a lot of work for sure. So, yeah, I'd like having the skills to do a lot of these things. I like that I have these skills. I would pay somebody to do it if I could. There's the truth. That if money was no object, I would I'd be happy to pay somebody because I would find enough things to do to keep my skills sharpened and to do little projects that I want to do. Uh, but uh, but yeah, if I could just pay you to do it, I'd be very happy to do that. I'd be very happy to. So I think I've accepted that I don't want to go deep here now, but I think I've accepted that I'm at a point in my life where I think this is where I'm going to be. I don't think I'm going to, unless there's a big lottery winning or something miraculous happens, which is always possible. I think I'm living within my means, and I think this is where we are. You know, we're middle class Americans. Thank goodness we survive, and that's where we are. Um, because I've also learned, and I've shared before, that I have learned that when I look at, and I'm going to use the word successful as in wealthy, okay? Wealthy. I know wealth does not mean success. We all agree on that. I think we do. Anyway, I get it. You know, I'm highly successful in life because I have joy in my heart, in my life. Can't ask for more than that. So let's just for a moment use the word successful and wealth together. I've learned that when I see, we'll just say wealthy people, generally, they have worked their tails off for that and will continue to do so. In this industry of YouTube, for instance, I see creators who have 3-4 times as many subscribers as I do, but they also work. You know, they're putting out a video every day. I can't maintain that. That's not who I am. I just don't have. I'd like to say I don't have the time for that because how could I do that plus tile the bathroom plus, you know, do all the other work around the property? Sounds like an excuse because I think anybody who does the work would say you're going to make the time to do it. It's not, whatever it is. That's not who I am. Some people are really driven. Anyway, I think most quote unquote successful people are highly driven and they really work hard. And I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to do it. I like working hard. I think I do work hard, but there's a level and you have to be able to maintain that level. You can't, that's why people get burned out, I think, of anything that they're doing. I'm not talking about doing YouTube or anything like that. I think people get burned out because they hit something so hard and maybe they love it at first and they keep doing it, but there's a burnout level because you have to maintain that. That could be in a retail business, a service business, anything you're doing. It's you got to be built for that, and some people are. Some people are, and if you're not, I think that's where the burnout comes from. So, yep, Wade's the same way. Lock up with the time test. Interesting, Chris. There's a lot of new evidence that time tests are counterproductive. SATs, MCATs, LSAT, time factor. Mostly weeds out the good people. Yeah, you know, speed isn't everything, right? It's not a matter of how quick you can do something. It's if you can do it. Um, that's interesting. But I also, I mean, I'm call me radical, but ever since I was a kid, I was highly opposed to homework, and I wanted to I wanted to ban homework. I thought homework was the most counterproductive thing. I thought it was unconstitutional. You can't send an employee home after work and expect them to do work and not get paid for it, when they're off the clock. And I always thought, how can you take kids, they're in school 6, 7 hours a day, send them home, give them another 2 hours or more, in my case, 4 hours of work to do? Like, that's not right, and I homework was the worst thing in my life, I think. I hated it. I hated it so much. Um, yeah. So we've talked about a little bit about tractors, but mostly about construction and tests and homework. And Wade, the clean straight line, you know what? It's not that, I don't want to say it's not that hard. Um, painter's tape never works for me. I even bought the expensive tape that has supposed to have a line, that keeps paint from getting behind the tape. It never works for me. I have found that if I just use a steady hand, maybe hold with both hands, and cut in with that straight line, I can do a pretty good job. Here's the other thing. Here's a trick. Paint your ceiling the same color as your walls, then you don't have to cut in anything. I mean, this room is it's not white. It looks white. It's a Sherwin-Williams color called Snowbound, which sounds white, doesn't it? It's just not bright white. But we said, why paint the ceiling white and then the walls snowbound? So the whole thing is all one color. It works. It works. All right. Are we behind here? Yeah, well, we're getting caught up here. Yeah, homework. I took an English class. Now, I'll tell you here too, I'm not a college graduate. I took an English class in college. I took some community college courses. I took like 3 or 4 courses when I was just out of high school, because it was like, I should probably do that. And college was the same thing as high school as far as work. Like, I hated it. I hated everything about mostly. The only thing with college was you could take some interesting courses too. But I took business and psychology and accounting and algebra. Uh, I'm a guy who has taken like algebra 1 like 4 times in my life. Never got beyond it. I passed it, I think, every time, but barely. It's like I topped out. Like, that's it. I don't get it. Uh, Business accounting, I thought that would be easy. Like, I like money. It's nothing like that. It's confusing as anything, and I hated it with a passion. Um, but again, what I know about myself, I'm a creative guy. I'm a little bit messy, uh, and I just tend to be more creative. So I liked the English classes that I took. I took a humanities class that I actually really liked a lot. Um, so I wrote a paper in English, and I forget what the assignment was, but my paper was why homework should be banned from schools. And I think I got an A on the paper, but the professor was like, I don't know that I agree with you. Okay, but it was a good paper. Good job anyway. All right. I know we don't want to talk. I don't want to talk school too much. Sarah, Took it twice. And did you get it, Sarah? Did it click after that? Okay. Keep talking about school. I don't know if I ever took pre-algebra. I took algebra in high school. I passed it, but barely. So I voluntarily took it a second year because I thought, well, maybe the teacher just really did a terrible job. I took the same thing the second year, had a great teacher. She was fantastic. It did make more sense with her, but it still didn't click. I took geometry because that's the succession when you're in high school is algebra and then geometry, and forget trigonometry and calculus. I wasn't even going to go there. I took geometry. This was the interesting thing. In high school, because I hated school so much, I went to vocational school as well for machine trades. Machine trades is a machine shop, milling machines, drill press, metal lathe. I like fabricating things very much. So I fell into this course of machine trades. I went to high school for half a day. I went to vocational school for the second half of the day. I was taking geometry in the morning and machine trades in the afternoon, and everything clicked. Like, because I was applying geometry to what I was doing in machine trades, which was angles and fractions and decimals and sine and cosine, which I don't remember any of that stuff, but I was using it in machine trades. And then in geometry class, I could visualize when I was doing the problems because I applied it in machine trades. I got like a B, which is great for me, in geometry. And I actually enjoyed it. And I realize it's different than algebra, but it just goes to show you when you can apply something, in my case, it works so much better. So at any rate, then when I went back to college years later, because I had lost a job, and I thought, all right, well, it was during like the '08 crash that I lost a job, and jobs were not to be found. I still have a plastic bin filled with applications. Every time I applied somewhere, I printed a copy, put it in. This bin was filled with applications, and it was a good almost 2 years before I got back to work. It was a tough time for the whole country. I was able to take a couple college classes as part of I was over 50, so I was considered aged, and that they were supporting folks. So it was a grant that allowed me to take some college courses. I took algebra again at like 50 years old. Maybe it was in my 40s. I guess I was in my 40s then, like 45. Anyway, I took algebra again in my 40s, late 40s, and it was a disaster. It was so bad. Like, I felt like I was in ninth grade again. I had the same feelings. I went to like a homework workshop. I got a private tutor through the community college, and she was an older German woman, and she was so kind, but she had the German accent. She was like, practice, practice, practice. That's what you need to do. You must practice, practice, practice. And she said to me at the time, she said, if you think about it, because I told her how hard it was for me in high school. She said, if you think about it, here you are, 48 years old or whatever. She said, if you think about it, you're probably the same student today that you were when you were 14 years old. And she was right. I mean, in my life, I still feel 13, 14 years old whenever I do playing or whatever. I still feel like a kid. But she's right. I was the same student that I was back then. So, and it's tough, when you don't learn the way other people learn. But I have other gifts and other talents, and I focus on them. And I'm, in my late 50s now. So there's no turning back now. Like, I'm here to stay, and this is who I am. And gosh darn it, people like me. So, interesting way that you had the same experience, except yours was carpentry. Now, I'm surprised, Wade, though, because you seem to be a highly intelligent guy in my book. my conversations with you, um, I'll be honest, Wade. Sometimes my eyes sort of glaze over because I think you're very smart. Yeah, I think Wade and I both. He's in a whole other state, but I think we both did the work study program, which was neat. My senior year of high school, I went to school for like 2 hours. Senior year, I think I was taking geometry and English, and I think that was it. And then I was in a work study program. Like at 10 a.m., I left the school grounds and I went to work at a machine shop and got paid $4 an hour in 1985. $4 an hour. I was living large. 2 hours a day for school. Got to hop in my Jeep, drive it to the machine shop, and then work until 3:30 p.m. and made $4 an hour. I was getting paid to basically go to school at that time, and it was the best year of school that I had because it was practically non-existent. So that was a great experience. I liked it. Got to. I mean, I was, and then get this. It's funny how there's certain numbers that you never forget. $4 an hour I was making in 1985, which was good. That was above minimum wage at the time. I think minimum wage might have been like $3.35 or something like that. Or maybe it was $2.85. Whatever it was, I was making $4 an hour. Then the day I graduated high school, the company hired me. They said, all right, you'll work here after school or after you graduate. And I'm like, okay. Like I didn't realize how fortunate I was. The day after graduation, I showed up at work. Didn't even take a day off. I graduated. I went to work, got there at 7 a.m. the next day. My pay more than doubled from $4 an hour to $8.79 an hour. That was, I think in my mind at that time, I thought I'm earning more than anyone who graduated with me yesterday, including the kids who took calculus. I mean, they're not making anything. They're working at the ice cream stand, going to college next year. I'm making $8.79 an hour, and that was good. Turned out to be a horrible company that I worked for, but I stuck with it for 5 years because I didn't know you were allowed to quit a job. I grew up somehow with a work ethic. Like you don't quit a job. You have a job. You're getting paid. Anyway, so I stuck with it for 5 years, and it was a horrible company. It was horrible, but it was my first experience, so I didn't know how horrible it was. I had a horrible boss. I had horrible working conditions. I mean, it was running a 440 volt machine under a plastic tent because the roof leaked, and we didn't stop when it rained. We put up plastic tents, and we worked on these machines while it was raining, and there was no heat in the building, and it was like I guess this is how it is, I didn't know, but it was all part of who we are today. I'm looking for questions. Meanwhile, I hope that you're finding any of this interesting. You're learning more about me, as interesting or boring as it is, but that was my life as a kid, and some things work for some people and some things don't work or work differently. So it's all okay. Everybody has a different way. Yeah, I often say, like I have these conversations that much, but I've often thought, and this is creepy to think this way because I'm, again, almost 58 years old, that I would make an excellent high school student today. I would do so much better in high school now than I did back then, just because, not because I'm smarter, but because I don't carry the baggage of, teenagers are embarrassed about everything, and I didn't have any confidence, all that. Like, I would be a good student today. I would be like, I would do well in high school today. Other than the creepy factor of thinking about a 50-year-old guy in high school. So, yes. Hello, Margaret. You missed earlier when we were talking about the bathroom project. It's coming along very well. I've got 2 out of 3 walls done around the tub with tile, and might be finishing that up tomorrow, and then grout. It's going to have to be the next day. So, Lost Man Com Amiga. I don't know what that means. Did we cover what everyone got for Christmas for their tractor? Good question. I didn't get anything for my tractor, but Ann got me the best gift. And it's such a simple thing, and I didn't have it before. You know, we have the wood stove now for going on 3 seasons. We were using like a wicker basket to carry firewood in, or a box or something like that. And she bought a firewood bag, a canvas, heavy-duty canvas bag that if you fill it, it's hard to pick up. It's so full. I love the thing. You know, it's you just fill it with wood. All the junk drops to the bottom and doesn't fall out. I love it. It's the most practical gift, and it just works great. So that's not for the tractor, but it's for the farm, and I just love it. I really do. So, Chuck from Sheridan Park Farms, good to see you. Chuck's asking, he's seen me post some pictures at the bluegrass festivals. Who's your favorite band, artist, bluegrass fans down here in the mountains of North Carolina? Well, Chuck from Sheridan Park Farms, I've talked about the Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival, which is one of the top bluegrass festivals in the nation, as far as I'm concerned. It's also very drivable from here, about 10 miles away. And I'm a volunteer there. I'm part of that festival. I was asked, I volunteered early on, then I was asked to get more involved. So I'm involved with that. I love it. Anybody that knows me knows I love it. Not even so much for the music. I just love the atmosphere. You know, we camp out at the fairgrounds all week long because camping is included when you buy the weekend pass. You can come early before the festival even starts. It's not a campground, so you're dry camping, but what a good time. And it's just such a fun time. As far as favorite bands, I'm not a bluegrass connoisseur. I've learned more just by going to the festivals. Del McCurry is great. He's 86 years old. I love seeing him perform just because, well, he's really good. I like his personality, but he's also 86. Like, come on, like how many more times are you going to get to see somebody before they retire or worse? So I'd love to see him. I think we've got Dan Tominski coming this year. I'm not sure. We're looking at different people. But he sang the songs for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Man of Constant Sorrow. That's shot off the charts. He performed a couple years ago. So once it comes out, check our schedule. You can look up Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival on the internet, and it'll take you to the site. And once everything's set up and who's coming, you'll see that. But it's a good time. It's a real good time. Bob asking, do I still have the Bomberlite miniskid? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, I do have a video that I'm going to be working on soon that involves the Bomberlite miniskid. So, yes, stay tuned for that. I'm going to do a little comparison with the Bomberlite and the B2601. Spoiler alert. That's what it's going to be about. So, BT, who's your man? Hey, man, where'd you come up with your logo for the channel? I just made it. This was 2020. I was not throwing the channel together. I was starting the channel. I didn't really have any access to thinking about logos or anything like that. So I just sat down with a Photoshop type program. I used the font. I added the words around it, and I thought, that's clean and simple. I like it. I need to change this one up here with the Christmas wreath. I thought I did that. Anyway, yeah, I haven't changed it yet. It's just worked. It has just worked pretty well. Yeah, Ann did not get me a cab tractor, but I love the firewood bag very much. Wade got a pneumatic oil extractor. What even is that? Pneumatic oil extractor. Is that like an oil sucker, like a vacuum? Is that what that is? Pneumatic oil. Sounds like a vacuum to me. So, all right. Oh, John Ritter's here. Late. That's all right. Daddy, daughter, dinner, date. That's so nice. What a good dad John is. Well, don't let us interrupt your dinner unless you finished it. But glad to see you. All right. Dan is in Union Station. Okay. Is that? Oh, that's where he lives? Nice. Dan Tominski. I'll tell you, back to bluegrass for just a moment. What is their name? Country Current. Country Current. They played last year. They played with us a couple years ago as well. But they are the U.S. Navy band. They have a bluegrass outfit. They have different outfits, but it's the Navy band. Country Current. If you look them up, that's the name of the Navy band. I mean, just everything you'd expect from a military-based group. Just polished and excellent, most excellent. You might say, what's bluegrass got to do with the military? I mean, there's a lot of different things the military does, but man, and they perform all over the place, not just bluegrass, but other things. And I hope we have them back. We don't generally have the same groups year after year. You know, you switch it up and whatnot. But when they come out again, I am going to tell some friends, you need to come see this military band there. So good. So here's a question. And it's even tractor related. A few years ago, I would see subcompacts with double wheels on the back for stability. I don't see that anymore. Is that not a thing now? You know, why isn't it a thing? I know what you mean. That was a thing. You see double wheels, and it makes the tractor wider. People use spacers now to make your wheels 3 inches, 6 inches sticking out, but nobody does double wheels anymore. I guess maybe it's too cumbersome. I don't know, but it sure would. It sure would add a lot of stability, wouldn't it? I think so. Yes, Chris's video. Margaret mentioned Chris's video on his Milwaukee toolbox. That was a great story, Chris, and congratulations on getting your toolbox back. I think maybe it became more principled for you than anything. Like you said, you didn't even remember what was in the box, but when you lose something, you just want to get it back. And that was a great story. So congratulations on that. And even though you got a new one for Christmas. And I think Milwaukee's hooking you up too, which is great. So. And, oh, Chris is doing a giveaway. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Chris. Hopefully that's a clickable link. But check out Chris's giveaway video. I'll be checking that out. I missed that one. So good. And the Farm Machinery Show, Bob Purse is asking about. I plan to go to the Farm Machinery Show, and I plan to drive. So I'm sorry you're going to miss it again this year. Next year you're going to make it. That's good. I like to go. I wasn't going to go because I went to the Equip Expo, and I don't want to say it's more of the same, but it's more of the same. And then especially year after year, like last year, I was excited to do both shows, but I like going just to see folks. Like the Equip Expo, you saw our videos. A lot of us content creators, we meet up there. It's a great place to meet up, and that is the best part. And then you also get to know vendors through the years. So I look forward to going back and seeing some of the vendors that I've become friendly with. And the Farm Machinery Show is the same way. There are vendors that are that are at both shows, and you look forward to seeing them again as well. So I do plan to be there, and I plan to drive. I'll be there for a couple days, probably just, I don't know, was it Wednesday, Thursday? I think that's my plan for that. Not the whole time. I think last time I stayed start to finish because I was so excited, but I'm just going to do a couple days this year. Anyway, Jake from ITC Quick Attach, I know I'll see you there. Yep, there you go. Let's go. Clicking through here. So, I do plan to be there. I don't know what you all look like, but you know what I look like. So if you see me, let me know. And forgive me if I forget your name. But it's a good time. And that show is free. The Equip Expo, you have to pay to attend. The Farm Machinery Show, there's no admission. So it's a lot more people go to that one, but you have to pay to park. So, but if you can go, you should go and come and see me. That's what I say. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Right. We know what that music means, right? That means it's time for the weekly sticker giveaway. So, again, I repeat myself, but if you're new to the channel, this is how it works. I'm going to share a word or a phrase on the screen. This is for YouTube and Facebook Live only. I'm going to share a word on the screen or a phrase. You're going to type that word or phrase in the live chat. This song that's playing will end, and then we will randomly select a winner, the computer will, for these stickers. So, let's get the word up. What's the word? What's the good word? Here it is. Hashtag win. So enter the word hashtag win. Make sure you use the hashtag. It can be uppercase or lowercase. It doesn't matter. No spaces. Hashtag WIN. And we will draw somebody randomly in a moment. We'll just let those numbers rack up. Here's an example. Chevhead Ed, all in lowercase. William, all uppercase. It doesn't matter. Wade, lowercase. Sarah, uppercase. You could even do a combination of uppercase and lowercase. Chris is being funny because he already won and he's choosing not to participate because he feels as though he already won, so he's not going to enter. So he wrote hashtag one, which will not win. One will not win. Anyway, once you've participated, let me know if you're planning on attending the National Farm Machinery Show in February in Louisville, Kentucky at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Be good to know. I have no specific meetup place, but I will be there, wandering the halls aimlessly, and you just never know who you'll bump into. This is white grape juice. I should have it in a wine glass. It would look fancy. White grape juice, 50% watered down. So good. All right, let's do this. Hey, tap that Sugar Shack. Congratulations, tap that Sugar Shack. I can't remember if you won before or not, but you're going to have to email me either way so that I can send these to you. So, here's my email address. Here it is. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com. That's the email address. shoot me your information, and I will mail these out to you. Right? Right. Excellent. Congratulations. Remove. We're back. Final thoughts? Miss Jennifer, is she here? Hunter, I see you mentioned Miss Jennifer. If so, hello, Miss Jennifer. Question from Chris, does Sarah have horses yet? I don't think so, but maybe they're coming this week. She has done an amazing job. Now, you've seen some of the videos that I shot at Sarah's farm. I think I've done 3 videos at her place so far. I did the Bombylite mulching to clear out that tree in the middle of the pasture. I did the video where they were driving the fence posts. And then I did the barn cleanup, which I finished up the other day off camera because you don't need to see me pick up the rest of the debris. So she got a new dumpster, or they brought the dumpster back empty, and I topped it off again, and they're good to go. But my goodness, like, she's working there with her parents and her friends, and they are just getting stuff done. The fence, I think, is done. The boards are up. She's got temporary stalls for the horses because the barn fell over, blew down. So she's using the garage for a barn, which is brilliant. Same thing as a barn. It's basically a pole barn anyway. So getting ready for horses. I don't know if they're there yet or not, but I'm sure I'll be back with more content. And again, trying to encourage Sarah to start her own channel if she's got the time and the passion for it. A lot of content over there if she wants to do it, but it's also a lot of responsibility and a lot of work as well. So I don't know if the horses are there yet. I'll probably at least shoot some pictures once they're out there. So make sure you follow on Facebook, where I share a lot of images, Facebook and Instagram, and then you'll see some updates on there. So a little bit of different content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. They all overlap. Like my general video content, I shared on Facebook and YouTube, and then on TikTok, I might share a different version of that. Instagram, usually just photos, not too much video, or maybe a short video. And then, of course, on TikTok, because it's TikTok, I might upload something totally out of character or just silly because it's TikTok and you can. I have almost on. Now, listen, I don't know what's happening with TikTok. It looks like it's staying here. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if the Chinese government is stealing my information either. I don't know, but I'm on TikTok. And if you are on TikTok or going to be, make sure you follow the channel there, because I've got like 9,400 followers on TikTok. You need 10,000 to be considered for monetization on TikTok. And I don't expect, once I get there, still you need so many views too. So maybe I'll do all this and find out that I make 32 cents from TikTok. I don't know, but I don't care too much because I'm not looking at that as a really revenue stream. It's just one more place for exposure. My hope is that it brings people to YouTube and that they follow along there. So, but anyway, do follow along if you do, and that way you'll help me grow the channel on all the different platforms, right? So, well, I don't know. One thing I don't like about TikTok is it's all selling stuff. And I tried to sell some stuff on there too, but I haven't gotten into the whole sales thing on TikTok. I don't want to get into that. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. I just like to do things for fun. So that's my goal in life. If it's not fun, don't do it. Although I'm doing the tiling, which is not fun. But I'm saving a lot of money by doing it. So that's incentive as well. So there's my thought about that. Anyway, it's Monday night, start of a week, start of a good week. Again, the weather is shifting here a little bit, getting more winter-like. I hope that you're safe where you are as well. Again, Mike, take care of yourself. Keep in touch. I don't know how we can support you other than to know that you got a lot of good people here on your side and thinking about you. All right. From what I understand, there's a football game about to start, and I don't want to keep you from that. So Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.